we have actually, it was funny that it came up, Alice, who runs maybe France's most famous accelerator program, Le Camping. If we could have a quick round of applause for her, that'd be great.
Good morning.
So I'm really glad you could make it. We had a bit of a exchange by text message. So Adis, before we get started actually, because it came up really quickly, what mentoring in exchange for shares and there's no money, why don't you tell me concretely what is Le Camping's model? What are you guys offering? How long is it? And how much money in shares and whatnot?
Okay, so very concretely, it's a 6 months program. You get 4,500 when you are selected in the camping. It's 12 companies out of 200 projects. We don't take any equity, and it's all about accelerating from the prototype to the product, meeting with investors, and then from the product to the launch, the international launch development.
So you're giving 4,500
Yeah.
for a period of 6 months.
Yeah.
It's a stipend. It's not funding, it's a stipend.
It's like kind of a grant.
Yeah, okay. And you're not taking any equity.
No.
And so some people have actually said that if you're not taking equity, maybe your mentors and your program isn't as interested in actually seeing that company grow. What have you found to be the case?
Okay, I totally get what you see, and if your interests are not aligned with the success of the startups, how will you make the success really happen? It's really, at the beginning, a context problem. We are Silicon Sentier non-profit organization. We knew there was a big need. We knew this a new generation of entrepreneurs. Some of them are here. I see under 25 people trying to launch startups, and we knew it was a need. We were a non-profit organization, and we wanted to launch it in 3 months. And to be able to take equity in exchange of a small amount of investment, we had to go through AMF, labelization, and everything. So it was too long. And we said, okay, let's start like that. We won't take equity, but all the success of Le Camping is of course based on the success of the startups. Why? Because if our startups don't have any good results, then we won't find the fundings to have the budget for Le Camping. And the model of Le Camping is different from any other accelerator. So I would say the most interesting one is Y Combinator in Palo Alto. The first one, it launched in 2005 by Apple Graham. And it's always kind of the same model. It's, sorry, I need to just, voilà. It's a kind of fund. They invest, they take equity. And we, as Silicon Sentier, we knew how to deal actually more with big corporation rather than VC funds. So we've been to talk with Google, SNCF, BNP Paribas, and also public partners, La Région Île-de-France. And they trust us because we already proved that we were able to communicate, to really, build concrete stuff like the co-working space like Antine. So they follow us. They didn't know what they were betting on at the beginning. And now, step by step, actually, they really want to come back. We signed with them for season 1, and they asked for season 2, and they are here also for season 3, and we're preparing more seasons. Why? Because I think it's a pattern of our ecosystem. Actually, it's a need also. Like big corporations, they need to take this digital path, and then they want to understand who are these new innovators. So they want to collaborate with the startups. So basically, what happens? It's a group such as SNCF. They will become our partners, but what they buy is the fact to be close to these young innovators and to be able to see how they could actually become clients and leverage the product of the startups. Dog Tracker is a really good example. It was a startup from season 1, 2 hackers out of Gemalto. Gemalto. They had an innovation they wanted to build out of this technological innovation of product. They came to Le Camping. They met with SNCF, and SNCF became their first client. So they gave credits, money, to the startups. Then they've been able to raise funds through investors they met at Demo Day, the camping. And then they've been selected to one of the biggest accelerator, not Y Combinator, but Techstars, another one in Boston, whereas they now have raised.
A good amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually sounds like a great success story. So SNCF is not actually an investor; they actually purchase and use the product.
Yeah.
That's maybe even better than getting money, getting a client. But tell me, what is actually? I mean, if companies are coming to you and you're only giving 4,500 for the program, what other funding do they generally have? Where is their money coming from?
It's really a big problem. So we know they need money at the very beginning. If I give you a pattern of the startups we are now more and more seeing, and like this new trend, they are under 25. They have no unemployment fees because they haven't been working. Most of them have dropped out of school, or they are still in school, but they don't want to finish their program because they want to become entrepreneurs. So they don't have unemployment fees. They live in their parents' house or not, so they want to pay a little rent. They can eat pasta and not have like a very high level of high expensive way of life. But anyway, if you count all in all, what they would need for 6 months to really bootstrap, you know the concept of bootstrapping, to really focus on only execution and be able to live, at least they need for 3% during 6 months, the minimum would be 25K. So we are not able to cover this. We give a first something. So, but some of our teams actually have been really living on this
On
small
that.
amount. Yeah,
Wow.
like One Fit season 2, 3 guys. I mean, they really had only this, and they've been after to another accelerator in San Francisco, IO Ventures. Where they raise funds. So it's I think this is the very, very, very beginning that is missing here, because also in the patterns, they don't have, most of them don't have family money, love money, what we call love money. And also you have all the solutions like Scientipol, for instance. It's getting rare, and I mean it's more and more difficult for the public institution to spend to give grants now, um, and also what they ask as a criteria is that you have to have already sold something, to have already a clients. You don't have any clients once before you have the possibility to build the product. So who can you ask this money to? I think it's even before what we call seed investments. There is something that is lacking. This kind of tickets of 50K, for instance, 50K tickets. This is lacking also. So you were talking about Kima Venture, for instance. They do give some ticket, but they are the only ones. They are the only players really able to do that. And they need competitors, because if they are the only ones, they are expensive. Of course, this is the market law. So they need competitors, and also we might need also to you were talking about TEPA law. Okay, what I've seen from my experience, it's not a general point of view on is it good or not at the end, okay? But what I've seen is that you have a lot of people who want to invest these small amounts. These people are business angels, but they have never been through the path of the startups. So they will be at the board of your startups, making decisions for you, helping you to make decisions, but they won't bring you any value in terms of strategic, contact, anything. So is this the people you want? If you really need this money, do you want to sacrifice also 2 hours a month plus the time to prepare this kind of meetings? So we need to accelerate this possibility to have these first tickets. And maybe to improve the way to in terms of law, to give this ticket. You know, program, for instance, what he created is something really for the entrepreneurs. It's a convertible note. Okay, so when you are really early stage startups, it's stupid to think that we can already give you what we call evaluation. Okay, you are too young to be able to evaluate how much you really worth. So what they did there is that they put money and they will align the valuation to the real Serie A first raising fund. So they don't decide now how much you worth and everything, and they have some discount for being the first to do that, to do so. But I think we should move to this kind of uh, low
Yeah.
facilitation.
It sounds like a complex problem because at the same time you're saying there's good money and there's bad money. You don't want money from just anybody to come and make decisions. At the same time, you're saying that some of the guys that are doing your program are living, kind of the garage dream at La Camping, donc at Le Camping. So it's kind of it's an interesting oxymoron a little bit. So I think my last question for you, and then we'll see if there's any questions in the room, is it sounds actually to me like quite a few of your companies are using Le Camping and then they're going to, I didn't know you had people going to IO Ventures. I knew you had some people going to Techstars. These are kind of the biggest ones in the US. Are you thinking that's going to be the future trend?
I mean, for the moment, again, we want them to succeed, to succeed. We want them to succeed, so we want the best for them. And we're not thinking as will the ecosystem be happy with this, in a sense? But at the end, yes, it will. That's my gut feeling. Because what I think is that, let's take, for instance, OneFit. Mobile gaming, three guys, one tech, one designer, one biz guy, the perfect trio. And mobile plus gaming in France there is no market for the moment, and there is no experts. Okay, so we saw this that there was a big potential with them. We trained them, and the strategy was clear. At Le Camping, we see obviously from day one who should go to the US, who should actually stay and first develop the strategy in France, in Europe, and everything. It's clear. So for the one that we see that it's they have to go to Silicon Valley because it's there that they can really develop, then we do our maximum so that they can go there. And what is good at the end is that now we have kind of ambassadors all over the world. Now, if I want to meet the guy who created MySpace, or they met amazing mentors like the guy who created Zynga, all these guys, and now they are reachable. And this is part of our ecosystem growing there. Like, for instance, David Cohen, the guy of the head of Techstars, will be at our demo day in London because
when is that?
It's on the 28th. You're invited.
Thank you.
So if there is any investors in the room, we'll be pitching investors in Paris on the 20th of September, in Berlin, on the 12th of September in Paris, Berlin 20th of September, and London 28th.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Alice. Is there any questions in the room for anything about, yes, we have one back there. Don't know if there's a microphone. Maybe just yell it. Yeah. Apparently you can't.
Thanks. Has ever one of the incubated company at Le Camping ever pivoted while they were at Le Camping? Is it something that you envisage for your companies?
In the first 6 months, has anybody pivoted?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course. We have one company going from software to hardware right now, 1 month from demo day. We we have some big pivot that explodes. The statistic is during the program on the 12 startups, there is always at least one that split, that explode. And the pivot, yeah, I mean, after it depends on what you call a pivot. If you change your targets, is it a pivot? Yeah, most of them do change their target.
At the time you recruited them?
Yeah, I would say 50% of them have a total different pitch between, I would say the same market, but a total different pitch between the first day and the demo day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
One last question, anybody? Okay, thank you so much, Aris.
Thank you for
Great.
inviting me.